It is about 9:20 and I am making my breakfast. I have some pull-apart egg white bread rolls that I made yesterday, and I'm gonna make some egg sandwiches. I'm just gonna spread on some cream cheese, and I might grab some everything but the bagel seasoning and sprinkle on there, and then just do I have some runny fried eggs, and I think that's gonna be it. We'll just keep it simple. Should have put it on the cream cheese. It would stick better, but I didn't think of it. Okay, that is breakfast, and after this is done, I will probably have like a protein hot chocolate. Since I have been off of coffee, I haven't been having that first thing in the morning, and I haven't been having anything first thing in the morning. So this is my first sustenance of the day, but I do enjoy still having a hot beverage, so I think I'm probably gonna make a hot cocoa after this. Okay, there's lots of ways to make keto hot chocolate. So many different products, and you don't even need products because you could just make it with cocoa and some sweetener and some milk substitute, whatever you like. It's super easy, but I want to get in some more protein in my breakfast, trying to start my day off with a good amount of protein. So I'm going to make a hot chocolate with some prime protein, and I always love to add some element in there. I mean, you can just add the plain element and you get that saltiness, or like the raw element, but I have the chocolate salt, so I'm just gonna add the chocolate salt and it'll make it even more chocolatey. And then of course this doesn't have any fat in it, so you wanna have a little bit of fat to make the hot chocolate enjoyable. And I picked this up, you know, to use as I was transitioning off of coffee, and I'm just gonna use it up. Like I have it, so I'm gonna use it up. It probably won't be something that I order forever from now on, but I do like it pretty well, and it has plenty of fat in it from MCT and from coconut milk powder. So I'm gonna make my keto hot chocolate with these three things plus water. Should have gotten a bigger mug. It's about 1 p.m. and I'm going to be leaving here pretty soon to take Charity to piano lessons, and so I need to eat something before we go. While we're out, I'll probably pick up a decaf coffee. I haven't been drinking really much coffee at home, decaf or regular, and but I still, when I go out, I enjoy, you know, the treat. Still in the habit of getting the treat when I'm out, and so I've been saving my decaf coffee experiences for then, so I probably will, but I did need to eat some lunch, so just having something super simple. I have 6 ounces of cottage cheese and 6 ounces of leftover chuck steak. So that's going to be my simple lunch. All right, so I am waiting for Charity while she's having her piano lesson. I did get my coffee, which I am enjoying immensely, even though decaf doesn't have the same power behind it that regular coffee has. I could definitely tell the difference. I was chatting with Lindsay about this on our last live stream. I can tell the difference. I can taste the difference in decaf, and it's so hard to explain, but it's like, it just doesn't have the oomph. It doesn't have that like special something, which of course we know is caffeine. So anyways, I'm still enjoying it though. I wanted to take this opportunity, since I'm sitting here just sipping my coffee, I thought we would chat a little bit. I am going to be sharing at the end of this video, like I do with a lot of my What I Eat in a Day videos, I'm going to be sharing my blood sugar data for the day. And I'm an affiliate with NutriSense. I actually put on my NutriSense hoodie today, which I love. It's one of my absolute favorite hoodies. So I am an affiliate with them, and so they send me CGMs to use in videos and to share with you guys, and they also give me a little bit of a commission anytime someone clicks my link to get more information about NutriSense. If you click the link and then put in your email address, they send me a little kickback even if you don't make a purchase. So I always say it's a great way to support my channel if you want to, because it's free to you. All you have to do is put in your email address. If you want to do that, I totally appreciate it, but I also understand if you do not. But anyways, so I have a CGM on right now, so I'll be sharing with you the data from that as far as it, you know, relates to today and the things that I have eaten. And I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the metrics that they track on the NutriSense app. And there are a lot of things that they track on the NutriSense app. And I feel like I have kind of gradually, piece by piece, gotten to know these different things that they're tracking. and because it's a lot to take in at once. And this is one that I have recently started focusing on more and kind of realizing the importance of recently, and that is glycemic variability. So when you look at your data from a CGM, you can see like all the different, glucose from any point in the day, and you can see exactly what it was at whatever point in the day. And then you can also see your average for the day, which that's a very interesting thing to look at. And that's what like an A1C measures. If, it measures your average glucose for a 3-month period. But you can see like, if you have a CGM, you can see the average blood glucose for the day. But what I have kind of, learned is that with CGMs especially, and with finger stick glucose monitors, there is a lot of variability. And the CGMs and the blood monitors, they can be off. Like they're allowed to be off by up to 15%. So it's kind of like, you can't put a ton of stock in the exact number that you get. It gives you an idea, and the more times you take your blood glucose, it gives you a better idea of what's going on with your blood sugar, but you can't just like take that number to the bank. But what can be a lot more helpful, and actually is a lot more accurate with the CGMs, is measuring the changes. So, you could be at 90 and then it goes up to 95 and then down to 80. And so you see the amount of change, and that amount of change doesn't change if the CGM is running 10 points high or 10 points low. You'll still see the amount of change throughout the day. And so that's your variability. So the CGM is actually really accurate in testing that. And so instead of, I was kind of focusing on that average number and trying to like see what I could do to get the average number lower, and, see what what things I did and to get an average number that's higher and try to manipulate it that way. But I found that, CGMs can vary from one to the next. And so trying to really dial in your average, from one CGM to another, it just wasn't super helpful for me. It gives you an idea, like I said, but it's not super exact. So, but looking at the variability, that's something that's really easy to track from CGM to CGM, even if one is running a little high or running a little bit low, because you're still going to see that variability, like how much your glucose goes from baseline, either up or down. And so, you want to have a variability of 20 or less. That means you have your baseline, your average for the day, and it's not going more than 20 above or 20 below. So that's like a 40-point range. And so you want it to be below 20 for sure. And then ideally you want it to be below 14. So I have been looking at that closely, and I've been actually really happy with where my variability has been. I don't know what it's going to be at the end of this video. So stay tuned if you want to see what that ends up being, but it's just a really good thing to keep in mind. And I like the analogy of, let's say I was sending you on a vacation and I said, okay, I'm sending you to this place and the average temperature there is 70 degrees. It's the average temperature is 70 degrees. And you're like, oh, that sounds amazing. I would love that. But then you get there and you find out that actually at nighttime, it gets super, super cold. And then in the daytime, it gets crazy, crazy hot. And it averages out to be 70 degrees, but that's way different than it just being 70 degrees the whole time. And it's similar with your blood sugar. You can, get an A1C of a certain number that shows your average blood sugar, and you can have another person that gets the exact same A1C number, but one person has a pretty steady blood sugar where it's not going too far above or below baseline. And there's another one where, it's going really high after meals and then crashing really low and then, going up again, just this really exaggerated up and down, and still end up with the same average. And that's actually two very different pictures of metabolic health, even though you have that same A1C number. So that's just one of those things where you know, we don't just rely on one metric or one number. And learning about the glucose variability has been super helpful for me, and something that I've really been keeping an eye on. And even though it is interesting to see those daily averages and it does tell you something, I really haven't been focusing on those quite as much. But my ups and downs, that is where I am putting my focus. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. And like I said, stick to the end, and I'm going to go through all of my blood sugar for the day, and we'll see what my variability ends up today. So it's about 3 p.m. now, and after Charity gets done with piano lessons, we have a couple of errands to run. And then actually tonight I have my second boot camp exercise class. I mentioned in my last live stream with Lindsay, or actually it might have been 2 live streams ago by the time this video goes live, that I signed up for a boot camp. It ended up that a class was starting just like 5 minutes from my house. And I live out in the country and nothing happens 5 minutes from my house. But it just so happened to be just super, super close. And I was like, all right, it's a sign. It's meant to be. I need to do it. So I signed up, and I did the first one this last Thursday, and I was sore for like 3 days at least. And I'm like, today, I think is the first day that I almost feel normal. So I'm going to go back and, you know, re-up my soreness. So anyways, I'm going to be doing that. That's 5:30 to 6:30. And hopefully I won't need anything to eat before that. I think this coffee will be plenty to fuel me through that. And then I will probably have some kind of a dinner, maybe just like a higher protein keto chow or something like that. Depends on how I feel. But that is the plan for the rest of the day. How was lesson today?
Fun.
Yeah? Are you all prepared for your Christmas recital?
I haven't talked about that yet with her. I want to go to the mountain though.
Yeah, that's what you've been working on. I assume that was for the recital.
She gave me a harder version of Go Tell It on Mountain.
What?
To do.
Oh, maybe because you did so good at the other one?
Maybe.
Are you excited about it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'm very excited.
My exercise class starts in like 45 minutes. And so I am going to get these short ribs put in the Instant Pot. And then when I get home, they will be ready for a good dinner. When I was out running errands, I saw this barbecue sauce. I hadn't seen this brand's sugar-free version before, so I decided to grab it. It has allulose and it has stevia. It does have some cornstarch for thickening, but you know, no sugar. So I'm gonna try that with these. Instant pot them. I'm gonna just season them with salt and pepper, probably smoked salt and black pepper. Get them fried up. My pan is very hot, ready to brown them, and then add some broth and some barbecue sauce on top. And then I'll probably cook them for about an hour in the Instant Pot, and then they'll just sit there on keep warm until I'm ready to, whenever I'm ready to open it up. So these are short ribs off of the half a cow that we purchased a few weeks back. And I just love how yellow the fat is. It tastes so good, like seriously buttery without actually adding butter. It's so, so good. All right, not super fancy, but I think it'll still taste good. So let's see, pressure cook, and we're gonna go to an hour. Of course, I have my Element electrolytes all mixed up to take to exercise class. Back from exercising, and I am very hungry. I'm gonna turn on saute and let this cook down a little bit while I go take a shower. So I survived class. It was pretty intense, but I made it. And then I had maybe 2 or 3 ounces of that the short ribs. I can't eat a lot of like things like short ribs and pork belly. I enjoy them, but I can't eat a lot. And so I had a little bit of that, and then I am finishing off with a chocolate mint keto chow with a half a scoop of prime protein to bump up the protein a little bit, and 2 tablespoons of butter. And that is going to be it for me for the day. I just remembered that I didn't take my Armra Colostrum today, and it can't go in hot drinks, but it can go in cold things, so I'm just going to throw it right in. It might, you know, it would have been better if I put it in the blender, but I'll at least get it in this way. It might clump up a little bit, but we'll see. I've been doing 2 scoops per day. Perfect. Actually, that mixed in really well. And the color on this shake doesn't look too fantastic because it's nice and green when it's just the chocolate mint keto chow. But then I added that half a scoop of the chocolate prime protein. And so it didn't make it look pretty, but it tastes really good. Here's a quick view of my calories and macros for the day. I don't typically count calories and macros just on a day-to-day basis. I usually just do it when I'm doing a video like this. But today I got 1,959 calories. I got 183 grams of protein. So maybe didn't even need to add the extra protein to my keto chow in the evening, but since I wasn't counting along the way, I didn't know that. But anyways, got plenty of protein for the day. Got 116.8 grams of fat, and then I got 35.5 total carbs or 23.3 net carbs. Now over to all of my blood sugar data. Was very happy with how the day turned out. I have all of my meals and my exercise class put in here. So I got good scores on all of my meals. I'm not really sure why my dinner meal is not showing a score, but you can see that I had my meal at 7:25 p.m. and by around 9:20ish, I basically didn't have any rise at all from that meal. It just kind of went down and then kind of was jumping around in the 70s and the low 80s. So very happy with that. It was interesting to see that my exercise class, my blood sugar was kind of down low. I think it was probably a little bit down low because I hadn't eaten much before. Remember, I just had that coffee in the afternoon and I didn't eat a meal right before. So I think I was starting to get hungry, like right when I started. And then once I did start, working, my blood sugar came right back up. Which is normally what I see when I do like high intensity exercise. My blood sugar goes up a little bit, but then later on it tends to just stay a little bit lower after that. But I do think it was low just because I hadn't eaten in a while. So that was kind of interesting to see. But now on to the daily average. So I got a daily average of 77, which is good. But like I mentioned before, that's not something to take to the bank. It's just interesting to kind of see the trends there. But let's go over to insights down here. And you can see that I got a glucose score of 100 for the day. So very happy with that. And then my variability down here, the second one in the list, I got a variability of 6. And if you remember, I mentioned before that you want to keep it under 20 for sure. And then under 14 is ideal. So a variability of 6 is very, very stable, and I'm super happy with that. That is a clue to me that things are going really well, even more so than that daily average. Again, if you want any information about NutriSense, just follow the link down in my description and you go over there and put in your email address and they'll send you all of the info. I love working with NutriSense. I think they offer an incredible service and I definitely recommend it. So thanks again for watching today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I will see you again in the next one.